You have already been warned twice before, yet here you are standing at the edge again. The first time, life whispered to you. It came gently, in small troubles, in moments where you felt things were not quite right. You thought it was nothing. You brushed it aside and you carried on. But that was the first warning. It was a chance to correct your direction before the storm could grow. You missed it, and still life was patient. The second warning came louder. It was not a whisper but a knock. Something shook you harder. Maybe through pain, maybe through loss, maybe through disappointment so deep that you could not sleep at night. That was the second chance. You were given the opportunity to see clearly that what you are holding onto does not serve you, that the path you continue to walk is not the one designed for your higher self. But you did not change. You resisted and you carried on the same way. Now, this is the third warning. It is no longer soft. It is no longer quiet. It is sharp. It is urgent. It is heavy with meaning. When the third warning comes, it carries weight because it means time is running out. The space for hesitation is closing. The more you ignore, the more severe the consequences will become. God's anger does not rise from cruelty. It rises because you have been given time, you have been given signals, and yet you remain asleep. And to awaken you, the tone must now grow stronger. Understand this. Every ignored sign builds up, nothing disappears. The mistakes you let repeat, the habits you refuse to cut, the voice you silence inside you, they pile up like stones. And when the weight becomes too heavy, life crashes it down on you so you can no longer ignore it. This is where you are now. You are living the third warning. And if you do not act here, the breaking will not be gentle. It will crush so that you finally listen. Why are you warned 3 times? Because mercy exists. Because you were loved enough to be given space to reflect. The first warning was the chance to wake up with ease. The second was the chance to wake up with discomfort. The third is the chance to wake up with urgency. After this, there are no more chances, only consequences. And consequences are never soft. They cut deep, they reshape you by force. They strip away what you refuse to release on your own. This is not punishment, it is law. You cannot walk blind forever. The path of ignorance will always reach its wall, and the wall is now in front of you. This is why the third warning matters more than the first 2. The time for delay is finished. The message is clear. You are being told change now. Leave behind what destroys you. Discipline your heart, discipline your mind, discipline your habits. If you do not, then the destruction that comes will not be held back. Do not think that you are safe because life still moves. Do not think that tomorrow is promised. Every delay is another strike against your own spirit. Every refusal to listen digs you deeper into your own prison. And when the walls finally close, there will be no space to breathe. This is why you must take the third warning seriously. It is not simply a call. It is a line drawn. After this, there is no more patience. There is only outcome. The anger of God is not the anger of a man. It does not scream for revenge. It is the force of correction. It bends what has grown crooked. It breaks what refuses to straighten. It burns what refuses to transform. You are being told this now because there is still a door left open. It may be narrow, but it is open. If you walk through it, you step into a higher life, a life where discipline, awareness, and truth guide you. If you ignore it, the door will close and you will be forced into correction through struggle so severe it leaves no choice. So hear this clearly. You already had 2 warnings. You already had 2 escapes. You already had 2 moments where you could have shifted with less pain. Now, there is no space for hesitation. There is only action. Either you change now or life will change you by force. Either you listen now or life will break you into listening. This is the law. This is the truth. This is your third and final warning. When you hear the words that God is angry, you may feel fear rise inside you. You may imagine destruction, punishment, or something designed to break you. But understand this clearly: God's anger is not the same as human anger. It does not come from impatience or bitterness. It comes as a force to awaken, to shake you from the sleep you have allowed yourself to fall into. This anger is not here to kill you. It is here to make you live. The truth is simple. If life does not interrupt you, you will continue to walk blindly. You will remain trapped in the patterns that are slowly destroying you. So when the anger of God comes, it is not random. It is precise. It is sent to you exactly at the moment when you have ignored too many signs, when you have become deaf to the whispers and blind to the small warnings. The anger arrives because nothing else will wake you anymore. Think about fire. Fire can burn and destroy, but it can also purify. It can clear away the old so that the new can grow. This is what divine anger does. It burns away the lies you tell yourself, the excuses you hide behind, the false comfort that keeps you stagnant. It clears the ground so you are forced to face the truth of who you are and what you have become. Without this burning, you would remain lost in illusions forever. Do not mistake correction for cruelty. A parent corrects a child not out of hate but out of love, because they cannot allow the child to walk into danger unchecked. In the same way, the anger of God is the sharp edge that keeps you from walking further into destruction. It is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to destroy what is destroying you. When the warning comes with anger, it feels heavy. It feels like everything is crashing at once. Your plans fall apart, your comfort disappears, your illusions collapse. This is the moment when many cry out and ask why life is so unfair. But the truth is, it is not unfair. It is exact. It is the reflection of your path. You ignored the whispers, you rejected the knocks, so now the door is broken down. This is not chaos. This is precision. Anger is the last attempt to reach you before it is too late. It forces you to stop. It forces you to look at yourself. It forces you to let go of what you should have already released. The weight you feel is not meant to crush you. It is meant to wake you so that you cannot hide any longer. The pressure you feel is not the end. It is the beginning of change if you choose to see it that way. This is why you must not run from it. Do not drown yourself in distraction when life is pressing you hard. Do not numb yourself with false comforts. Do not deny what is happening. The anger you are experiencing is sacred. It is your chance to wake up once and for all. If you resist it, the pressure will only grow until it forces you to break. But if you surrender to it, you will find clarity, strength, and freedom on the other side. The anger of God teaches you discipline. It strips away what you refuse to control. It forces you to see the cost of your laziness and your lack of awareness, your refusal to change. And when you finally face it, you are given the power to rise higher than before. The greatest growth often comes from the harshest correction. So let the fire burn. Let it remove what no longer belongs in your life. Let it clear out the parts of you that cling to weakness, excuses, and fear. If you see this anger for what it truly is, you will no longer resist it. You will allow it to refine you. You will allow it to carve discipline into your being. You will allow it to transform your weakness into strength. This is why you should not be afraid of divine anger. Be afraid of ignoring it. Be afraid of closing your eyes and pretending it is not there. Because anger is not sent to destroy, it is sent to awaken. If you accept it, you will rise. If you resist it, you will fall. But the choice is always yours. The anger of God is not punishment. It is a gift disguised as fire. It is the force that breaks chains when you refuse to let go of them yourself. It is the hand that pushes you back onto the path you keep leaving. It is the storm that clears the air so you can finally breathe again. You may not like how it feels, but one day you will see that it was the very thing that saved you. The signs are already around you. They are not hidden and they are not locked away in mystery. They are in your daily life, showing themselves in your body, in your relationships, in your inner state. But because you are busy, because you are distracted, you treat them as accidents. You call them bad luck. You call them coincidence. Yet nothing in your life happens without meaning. The signs have always been there, waiting for you to open your eyes. When your health begins to fail, it is not only your body crying, it is your spirit speaking. The sleepless nights, the heavy fatigue, the sudden pain that has no explanation, these are not random. They are signals. They are warnings that something within you is out of alignment. If you keep ignoring them, if you only cover them with medicine or distraction, you silence the voice that is trying to save you. When relationships fall apart, it is not just people leaving you. It is a lesson showing you what must change within. Every argument, every betrayal, and you are not the breaker, every not punishments, they are mirrors. They show you where you are blind, where you are weak, where you still refuse to grow. Instead of blaming others, you must see the sign. The sign says something inside you is unfinished, something must be corrected. When your mind feels restless, when you feel empty, no matter what you achieve, when you lie awake with thoughts that do not let you rest, do not think it is meaningless. This is another sign. The soul is knocking. It is telling you that the path you walk is not the one that belongs to you. You are chasing things that cannot satisfy. You are filling your days with noise, but inside you remain hollow. The restlessness is not your enemy. It is your warning. The danger is not that the signs are weak. The danger is that you no longer pay attention. You have become too used to ignoring them. You silence the voice inside by drowning it with distractions. You bury the signals under layers of comfort. But the signs do not disappear. They return again and again, stronger each time until they break through in a way you cannot deny. This is why life feels like it repeats. The same mistakes, the same pain, the same disappointments keep circling back. You think it is fate, but it is simply ignored lessons. The lesson will always return until you learn it. And every time you ignore it, the sign grows louder, the weight grows heavier, the consequences grow sharper. So the question is not whether the signs exist. The question is whether you are ready to see them. You must sharpen your awareness. You must train yourself to listen when life whispers, not only when it shouts. Waiting for disaster to finally wake you is not wisdom. Wisdom is recognizing the small signals before they turn into storms. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your energy. Pay attention to the people that enter and leave your life. Pay attention to the silence between your thoughts. Every one of these carries a message. When something repeats, it is not random. When something weighs heavily on your chest, it is not meaningless. It is life trying to get your attention. The signs around you are gifts, and they are not curses. They are given so that you do not destroy yourself. They are the hand pulling you back when you are too close to the edge. If you learn to see them early, you will save yourself from greater pain. But if you continue to deny them, then life will show you in ways that cannot be ignored. And by then, the cost will be greater. You must become honest with yourself. You must stop pretending that everything is fine when it is not. The signs do not lie. If your body is breaking, do not cover it with comfort. If your relationships are crumbling, do not blame others endlessly. If your mind is restless, do not run to distractions. Stand still. Face the truth. Accept the sign for what it is. This is what growth demands. Growth requires that you open your eyes to what is real, not what you wish to see. Growth requires you to accept the discomfort of the sign and allow it to transform you. Each warning is a chance to realign before greater correction arrives. If you are wise, you will not wait for the third strike. You will act when the signs are still gentle. But know this, once the signs have reached you 3 times, once the warnings have been ignored again and again, then what comes next will not feel like a sign anymore. It will feel like collapse. It will feel like everything is being taken away. That is why you must not dismiss what is already in front of you. The signs are not against you. They are for you. They are the voice of truth speaking in a language that only your life can understand. Open your eyes and you will see that nothing is random. Open your ears and you will hear that nothing is silent. Everything around you is calling you to change before it is too late. Time is the one thing you cannot hold in your hands. It moves whether you are ready or not. Every second that passes is a piece of your life that will never return. You may think you have more. You may believe tomorrow is guaranteed. But the truth is your time is shrinking. The urgency of transformation is not just an idea. It is reality. If you delay, you lose. If you hesitate, you sink deeper into the same cycle you are already trapped in. Life is not waiting for you. The seasons change, the years move forward, and your body ages whether you decide to grow or not. This is why urgency exists. It is a force that pushes you to act now, because if you do not, you will wake up one day and realize too much has been wasted. You cannot buy back time. You cannot return to yesterday. What you have is only today, only this moment, only this breath. The danger of delay is that it becomes a habit. You say, tomorrow I will change. Tomorrow I will start. Tomorrow I will finally listen. But tomorrow never arrives. Tomorrow becomes weeks, weeks become years, and suddenly life has passed while you remain the same. This is why you are warned with urgency. Not because someone wants to frighten you, but because the clock is already ticking and you cannot stop it. Understand that transformation is not something you can endlessly postpone. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. Habits grow stronger. Fear grows deeper. Weakness takes root. When you ignore the call to change, you give more power to everything that holds you back. By the time you finally try to break free, the chains are heavier, the prison walls are taller. This is why you must act when the signs first appear. That is mercy, that is grace, that is your chance. Urgency is not cruelty, it is love in its most direct form. When life shakes you, when everything around you begins to crumble, it is not to destroy you. It is to force you to see that you cannot wait any longer. The message is simple: act now or the opportunity will be lost. You may still survive, but you will not live. You will move through life half awake, half alive, always wondering why nothing changes, always blaming others, never realizing that your own delay was the thief. Transformation requires decision. It requires courage. It requires the ability to say, I will not live like this anymore. That decision cannot be made tomorrow. It must be made now. Every excuse you create is another wall between you and the life that belongs to you. Every delay is another lock on your prison door. You think you are free because you are waiting, but in truth, you are binding yourself tighter with every moment of hesitation. This is why the third warning feels heavy, because it comes when you have already ignored the earlier chances. The urgency is sharper now. There is no space left for comfort, no time for softness. If you do not act, the consequences will not wait. They will arrive whether you are ready or not. Life does not slow down for your hesitation. It moves forward and drags you with it. Whether you rise or whether you fall, you must train your mind to understand the value of the present. The present is the only place where change can happen. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, only now. Every breath is a decision. Every action is a seed. If you plant excuses, you harvest regret. If you plant courage, you harvest transformation. The choice is in every moment, not in some future that may never arrive. The urgency of transformation also reminds you of mortality. You will not live forever. Your body will not remain strong forever. Your mind will not remain sharp forever. If you waste your strength in delay, then when the true moment of opportunity arrives, you may no longer have the energy to seize it. And that is the greatest tragedy, to see the door open and realize you can no longer walk through it because you waited too long. This is why the voice comes to you with force. It tells you, move now, do not waste, do not sleep. Do not pretend that time is your servant. It is not. It is your master, and it will carry you forward whether you are awake or not. If you wish to rise, you must rise today. If you wish to change, you must begin now. Not in theory, not in words, but in action. Do not underestimate the urgency. It is not meant to scare you. It is meant to save you. It is the reminder that life is fragile, that every second matters, that every delay is death in slow motion. The only way to honor the life you have been given is to use it now, to change while you still have the strength to act before it is too late. The urgency of transformation is the highest form of mercy. It is life reminding you that the door is still open, but it will not stay open forever. Walk through it now before it closes. If you hesitate, the chance will vanish. If you act, you will rise. The decision is in your hands, but the time is already moving. That is why you must not wait. That is why you must change today. The true test is not found in what happens around you. It is not found in the storms of life or the obstacles that rise in your way. The real test is within you. It is the discipline you carry in your mind, in your actions, in your daily life. Without inner discipline, you will always be thrown from one place to another by the weight of your emotions, the pull of your desires, and the chaos of the world. With discipline, you stand firm no matter what rises against you. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is power. It is the structure that holds your life together when everything else is breaking. It is the ability to control your impulses, to say no when everything in you wants to say yes. It is the strength to stay on your path when distraction is pulling at you from every direction. Without this strength, no transformation can last. Without it, every step you take forward will be lost the moment temptation arrives. The third warning is about this very point. You are being tested not on what you want, but on what you can sustain. Anyone can feel inspired for a moment. Anyone can make promises when they feel the fire of urgency. But without discipline, promises dissolve. Without discipline, motivation fades. Without discipline, you fall back into the same habits that chained you before. The test is not whether you can rise once. The test is whether you can stay risen. Discipline begins with the smallest acts, waking up when you said you would, finishing what you start, controlling your words instead of speaking in anger, controlling your appetite instead of feeding every craving. These may seem like little things, but they are not little. They are the foundation. If you cannot control the small, you will never master the great. If you cannot say no to yourself in private, you will never say no to the forces that challenge you in public. You must understand that lack of discipline is what keeps you bound. It is what makes you weak when temptation arrives. It is what keeps you repeating the same mistakes again and again. Every time you surrender to laziness, every time you surrender to impulse, you are training yourself to lose. And every time you resist, every time you endure, you are training yourself to win. Discipline is not built in a single day. It is carved into you by repetition, by choosing strength over weakness again and again until it becomes who you are. This is why the path is not easy. It cannot be easy because growth requires pressure. Discipline is forged in discomfort. You will not build it while seeking only pleasure. You will not build it while avoiding challenge. You build it when you choose the hard path, when you choose to keep walking even when your body screams for rest, even when your mind tells you to give up. That choice is where discipline is born. The test of life is not whether you can be comfortable. The test is whether you can control yourself when comfort is removed. When the world tempts you with shortcuts, can you refuse them? When people around you live without order, can you still hold your own? When desire burns in you, can you master it instead of being mastered by it? These are the tests, and they never stop. Every day, every moment you are faced with them. Discipline is also freedom. Without it, you are a slave to every impulse. Without it, you are chained to your cravings, your moods, your fears. With it, you are free. You are no longer controlled by the rise and fall of emotions. You are no longer dragged into darkness by every temptation. You move with purpose. You choose your path instead of being pushed onto it. That is freedom, and only discipline gives it to you. This is why the third warning comes with such weight. You are being told enough drifting, enough weakness, enough surrendering to what destroys you. Now is the time to build the inner strength that will hold you steady. If you ignore this, life will teach you through harsher ways. Because without discipline, you will collapse the moment difficulty arrives. Without discipline, you will never hold the blessing you are asking for. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about consistency. It is about showing up every day, even when you do not feel like it. It is about choosing the harder path not once, but every time it is placed before you. When you build this habit, when you live this way, you no longer need to wait for warnings. You become aligned, you become awake, you become strong enough to carry what life places in your hands. So take this warning and let it sharpen you. Build discipline as if your life depends on it, because it does. Without it, you will repeat the same cycles until time runs out. With it, you will rise, you will hold, and you will transform. The third warning is not against you. It is for you. It is the reminder that without discipline, there is no awakening, no growth, no freedom. Discipline is the gate, and only through it can you step into your higher self.